All right, just got some new parts for the G35. Actually, it's just for regular maintenance stuff that I'm doing. But let's see what it is. Try not to cut too deep. All right. Got some NIS zone valve covers. Got the attachments there. Oil cap and screws. Open one of these up, see how it looks. Got little, they're not heavy, not too bad since they're made out of aluminum. Heavier than the factory ones, but not bad. Trying to do this with one hand. All right. All right. Look pretty good. The paint on them looks pretty good too. I'm looking for any type of imperfections and things, and I'm gonna look them over before I install them. I'm gonna take the baffle off. I've seen people say that, take the baffle off on the bottom and make sure all the casting is blown out. Make sure there's no pieces of casting left in there and things like that. So definitely gonna do that. But it looked pretty good so far. Yeah, that'll look nice, definitely. And my old ones, they definitely need to be changed because they're leaking all over the freaking place. Yeah, so I'm gonna install these. I'll check back and I'll let you know how that goes. Yeah, I'm about to change these valve covers on the G35. I think the back bolts right here a lot of people say is the hardest to get to for the install. Went out and got a swivel socket. Help me get to that. Hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. We'll get started. Well, I've taken off the plenum, and now it's just down to removing the wire harness. And I take out the plenum plenty of times before, so that wasn't too bad. And now it's just moving the wire harness. I have tons of oil inside these runners, so I'm gonna be getting a oil catch can pretty soon. I know my valves are not my valves, my these valve covers are leaking into the spark plugs pretty bad. I don't know if that can cause that right there. I think that's coming from the oil being sucked in through the PCV valve and maybe the crankcase hose back here. So I'm gonna get an oil catch can, and when I install that, I'll be able to see and tell them see if that makes a difference. But that's where I'm at right now, and I'm gonna take off this wiring harness and then try to proceed to take off the coils, the spark plugs, and I'm gonna cover this up pretty quick with some tape right there just to make sure nothing falls down in there. Yep. All right. Well, got the driver side valve cover off. Yeah. I had a shop change of valve covers on here a while back, and that's when they installed these Jim Wolf camshafts. These are the C8s, and they put some aftermarket valve covers on there. So when I was on my way home, they were leaking, and I had to go back, and then they ended up putting some the OEM ones on, and then they were fine. But they had to go back into them a couple times, and so what I found is I seen some gasket maker right here on this screw, and I know the gasket maker really only has to go right here, around here, right? And that particular screw was loose. When I reinstall it, I'm gonna see if they stripped it. I'm not sure. I put one in there. It seemed to tighten down, but I don't know why the other one was so loose. I tried to tighten it, didn't sound like it wanted to tighten, but it did back out just fine. So, just as a precaution, I'm gonna put some a little bit of gasket maker around it, like they did, because most likely I'm thinking they were rushing, and this was done years ago. I mean, I could call them and say, hey, I think you did some foobar on my car when you were rushing to get it back to me, but I don't know. So that's what I'm probably gonna do, just put a little bit of gasket maker right there, and obviously right here I cleaned off the surfaces as much as possible. This one wasn't too bad to get out. Biggest thing is just moving this wire harness. That's really the biggest thing, just getting stuff out the way. Didn't have to take out this solenoid. I know some people do. I was able to get around it just fine. So that's just one less thing to take off. But so I'm gonna put and reinstall the new one, and then I'll move on to that one. All right, this is now day 2. I had to take a break because I had some business and things to do yesterday. So that side is completely done. Got that one done yesterday. That one was pretty simple. Got that one done. It's been sitting overnight, and I'm pretty sure it's, I used the 90-minute gasket maker, which is right here. The right stuff. Got that. And that seems to work pretty good. So I saw some other people do that. That's what the one mechanic suggested. And I can see the gasket right there. I didn't put a crazy amount, but I did put enough to make sure. I put it down to about right there. It comes up there on the other side too. You can sort of see it. Let's see. Yeah, you can see it sort of down in there poking out. And on that screw right here, like I was saying, this one was still sort of turning. It was getting sort of snug, but I just didn't trust it. I think the person who did it last serviced it, I think they stripped it out. I don't know if there's a self-tapping thing that maybe I can use on there one day, but I put some gasket on there too, from here all the way to like right there on the head. So the rest of them are all snuck down and torqued down. So hopefully that shouldn't give me no problems. I'll keep a look at it to make sure that there's no leaks, but I don't think it should. Hopefully it won't. This was a pain in the freaking tail on this side. Got all these screws out just fine. The one that gives the most problem is that one back there. I can't really see it with the, I don't think I can really get a good angle, but it's that right there, that one in the far freaking corner. I finally got it out. That's the one that gave me hell. I had this socket right here just holding this up. I mean, it's barely any room to even get in there with your freaking fingers. Like I say, it's dang. Yep, that was a pain. Gosh, that was a freaking pain. Got it out. Now, everything's out. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this off, replace it. And I was thinking, well, heck, I'm going to get another screw back in there when I put in the new one. Because I can literally barely even get down there with my fingers. I mean, it's hard to even touch it. I'm touching it now, but that's rough. I'm gonna try to just use my fingers to work the one down in there, or might use the socket to hold the screw to put it down in there. I'll see. I'll make it work. But I'll head back to it. Well, I finally got that valve cover off right there, and cleaning up around the edges of the sealing surface. Used a little bit of mass airflow cleaner. I didn't spray it on there. I actually just sprayed it on my towel and just went over the surfaces with it. I just sprayed it on the towel, but not on the surface. And I just went over the surface with it, making sure not to get anything inside here. I actually put a paper towel right here, and used a razor blade to scrape that off. Like I said, the hardest part is actually getting that particular screw out when the valve cover is installed. So I think I might end up putting a little gasket maker right there. You don't have to. It doesn't say that you're supposed to. But I think I might just do that anyway, because I think it's going to be hard to torque down. So I think I'm just going to put a slight bit right there. Not a lot, but just a slight bit, because that screw is really hard to get to. So I'm going to put it in there and try to torque it down to spec. But man, that is a hard area to get into. So like I said, the manual does not say to put any RTV back there, right there. But I think that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, go ahead and start installing the next one. All right, so here's everything all pieced up and back together. Just took it for a test drive. Ran fine, no oil leaks. Yep, so that's my first time ever changing the valve covers by myself. Like I said, this side was pretty simple. It was pretty straightforward. Hardest thing was really just getting all the wire harness out of the way. The most difficult part was that screw in the very back corner. That was a pain. That was a pain. But it is doable, and you save some money doing it yourself. And so, yeah. That's it.